Please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Alderman Dinwiddie is absent. Alderman Ravencraft.
Here.
Alderman Colbert, absent. Alderman Turner.
Here.
Alderman Beal.
Here.
And Alderman Lewis.
Here.
Can I get a motion approving May 6, 2025 meeting minutes, please?
I'll make the motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can we get a motion for approval of tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to special items. At this time, we have a proclamation for the Southern Boone cheer team. At this time, I would like to have you guys stand up for a second. A proclamation honoring the Southern Boone varsity cheer team and coaches on their victory of Class 3A Division Championship in the Missouri Cheer Coach Association. Whereas the Ashland Board of Aldermen, on behalf of the citizens, would like to congratulate the Southern Boone varsity cheer team and the coaches for obtaining the title of a 3A state cheerleading champions in the Missouri Cheer Coaches Association on February 23rd, 2025. Whereas the Southern Boone varsity competition cheer team won first place in every division, fight, time out, cheer, and band chant. Okay.
Fight song.
Fight song, right. Resulting in winning MCHCA Class 3 Game Day State Championship. Whereas in order to honor all of those who deserve the recognition for their outstanding achievement, for all their hard work and following those on the Southern Boone cheer team and the coaches who helped achieve their successes. Team members are as follow: Zoe Davis, Lila Stratman, Trinity White, Jody Van Dieven, Althea Meyer, Aston Kimbrough, Elise Rodriguez, Kylie Althrow, Mona Riggs, Isabel Leith, Harper Binkley, Imogen Cooper, is that right? Imogen. Ava Biddy, Cora Hall, Miss Sims, I'm not going to try to pronounce the first name, Natalie Parrott, Alex Cupp, Abby Melvin, Hadley Carmichael, Olivia Holloway, Tegan Silbert, and Elise Rodriguez. Coach is Lindsay Morris. Now therefore, I, Doris Slingers, of City of Ashland, the mayor, on behalf of the City of Ashland Board of Aldermen, urge citizens when they see the members of the team to congratulate them and tell them how proud we are of their achievement. Thank you.
And we are. But my question is, where's the rest of y'all?
Graduation was Sunday.
I know, I heard a lot of those names at graduation.
Yes, a lot of those names for graduation, and I think they're done. So.
Yeah, they're done.
Thank you guys so much, we appreciate
Grace,
it.
want to picture anything? Want to picture anything?
Yes. Can we get a picture real quick?
Yeah. Where would you like?
Where do you want
In front of us.
You gonna get up in front of the flag?
Yeah, I'm in front of us.
How many folks are on the team altogether?
I'm sorry?
How many folks are on the team altogether?
There's 20 plus our mascots, so 21 total were on the mat.
Oh, wow.
So we had a full squad. You guys file on in, and I'll be over on the side. You guys.
Didn't bring all 20.
Who's the head? Who's in the sharp?
They're, the seniors are gone, yeah. So-
He ought to know he has a senior.
So Bella's the elder member, I guess, would be.
We'll let her
I
hold
guess
it.
so. Here, Bella.
Slide down a little bit, Rick. Might as well get him.
Life looks like a little midget here. I'm a little teapot.
All right, there you go.
Alright.
Appreciate
Short
it.
and stout.
Right, good.
Thank you.
Strong and stout.
I know, they're so hard, even the last ones are.
Thank you, guys.
Somebody put that on Facebook, but yeah, I'm a little teapot, short and stout. That's awesome.
Moving on to appointments and board commissions, we have none. Scheduled comments, I guess has been striked.
Yes.
All right. Just a reminder that all public comments may be into the city clerk by Wednesday before the meeting date. Public hearing, we have none. Introductions and first readings, none. Moving on to old business. Ordinance number 1517, an ordinance extending the corporate limits of the city of Ashland, Missouri by annexing unincorporated area, directing the city clerk to give notice of the annexation of Martin Properties LLC. Staff report, please.
All right, this is the second reading on a proposed annexation for Martin Properties at 5003 East Liberty Lane. Purpose of this annexation is to bring this parcel into city limits and work it into future phases of the Liberty North subdivision. It's been a planned annexation. It's been on the books for a number of years now as part of the Liberty North subdivision. So again, second reading, 2.5 acres. As stated at the last meeting, we have to have some findings as to why the annexation meets state statute and the requirements for annexation. We do find that the property is contiguous and compact. We do find that it is necessarily unreasonable for the appropriate development of the city, aligned with our future land use map and other planning documents, and we do have the ability to provide services to the parcel. And that is what we have for a staff report.
Any questions for staff? Can I get a motion approving ordinance number 1517, an ordinance authorizing extending the corporate limits of the city of Ashland, Missouri by annexing unincorporated area, directing by the city clerk to give notice of the annexation of Martin Property LLC.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Alderman Ravencraft?
Aye.
Alderman Turner?
Aye.
Alderman Bill?
Aye.
Alderman Lewis?
Aye.
Ordinance number 1518, an ordinance to change the zoning of a partial land from A1 to R1 for Martin Properties LLC.
Okay, this is the second reading of the aforementioned property for the rezoning from A1 to R1. So the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval, contingent upon Board of Aldermen approval of annexation, which just happened, so, yeah.
Any questions for staff? Can I get a motion approving ordinance number 1518, an ordinance to change the zoning of a parcel of land from A1 to R1 for Martin Properties LLC?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Alderman Lewis?
Aye.
Alderman Bill?
Aye.
Alderman Turner?
Aye.
And Alderman Ravencraft.
Aye.
Moving on to new business. Some of the facts.
Buddy, this is good news. You should give lessons.
City of Columbia, hate us. New business, resolution 2025-35, a resolution of the city of Ashland adopting the Boone County multiple judicial hazard migration plan.
Multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plans.
Multi-jurisdiction, thank you, sir.
All right, so
Big time.
These are big time.
in order for us to stay compliant with FEMA and SEMA with regards to grants, disaster declarations, making sure that we're eligible for funding, from time to time, we will readopt the Boone County Hazard Mitigation Plan. This plan does include amendments. So historically, we've had a number of projects on this hazard mitigation plan that include looking at our floodplain regulations, addressing stormwater mitigation and capacity, undergrounding overhead utilities. Previously, our generator here at City Hall was on that project list, but that project has been funded through SEMA, so that one is falling off. So this action will keep us compliant, make sure we're eligible for disaster declarations and future funding opportunities, and also put us in a position to apply for grants on some of these larger projects as opportunities present themselves. So we're looking for approval of the resolution to adopt the plan. This is going across the county right now with all jurisdictions adopting the amended plan. We'll also have some other follow-on emergency management resolutions come before us. Boone County Emergency Management will be here at the next meeting to make some presentations and continue forward with some other adoptions for other components of emergency management within Boone County.
Any questions for staff? Can I get a motion to approve resolution 2025-35, a resolution of the city of Ashland, Missouri, adopting the Boone County MJHM plan?
So moved.
Can I get a second, please?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Moving on to reports. My report's been short and sweet. We had graduation this past weekend. It was very nice. Had a lot of parents out in town. Everything went good at high school. Have we heard when we're gonna start on the sidewalk over by, the school.
TAP project
Yeah, TAP project.
has not been approved for bid yet. We had some final comments go out to MoDOT yesterday, so waiting for review of those comments. Very minor, should be, I mean, it's a holiday week, so I'm not gonna guarantee we'll get a response out of MoDOT this week, but, hopefully we'll be out to bid here in the next couple of weeks.
And
I'll
then
give you a
has-
definitive date once we have that.
Has MoDOT finalized the punch list on the north sidewalk redo?
I'll defer to Darren, I know he was sending an email to.
Nothing I'm aware of.
I just wanna make sure they pay attention to that sidewalk by the post office.
Yeah,
It's
it's
still-
on the radar. There are
Okay.
a few other things as well.
Okay, good. All right, thanks, sir. And that is my report, city administrator report.
Just a couple things, our summer administrative intern started yesterday, so he'll be here at future meetings. Kind of like what we did with the intern last summer, he'll work on some policy projects and work through the approval process for those policies as he works on them. We're gonna pair him up with the park board to help the park board finalize some of their planning efforts for this fiscal year, and we'll just keep working on that as the summer progresses. We'll have a new public works director starting next week, so we'll make sure he's at a future meeting to have items on the agenda and also do an introduction. Replacement park bathroom sink. We had a stainless steel one delivered yesterday or this morning. It'll be installed tomorrow, so that bathroom will reopen. And just as a quick update on recycling, I know I emailed already and put it out on Facebook, but it's closed this week. We had a lot of excess materials dumped over the weekend. What we have been doing is either breaking that material down and putting it into the recycling bins or hauling it off-site to place it in other city-owned dumpsters. The capacity far exceeded our ability to do that this time around, so we're gonna keep it closed. When the new bin comes in on Wednesday, we'll be able to move that material into the bin and make sure that we're able to catch up with that excess. And then starting next week, we're gonna leave it locked throughout the weekends. That seems to be when the majority of the abuse is happening, since they know there's no staff around to monitor that facility. So that's kind of where we're at with it as of now. Our camera company was out to kind of review our camera setup. We're not really in a position right now where we can get definitive license plate reads or facial recognition to try and process tickets. So we're looking to upgrade those cameras to help with that effort as well.
With that, is there any mailing addresses on there? I mean, I know it's
Insufficient.
Yeah,
Well, the thing about that is, if somebody wants a box, I give them a box that's got my label.
yeah, that's true.
So,
That's exactly it. So that's why we're trying to look at the camera system to do an update there to make sure we have definitive proof of who's dropping it.
Thanks, sir.
Are the current cameras totally non-functioning, or are you able to like get
They're just
the type of vehicle? I know if you
Yeah,
can.
the issue that we're having is the ability to download historic. So obviously we're coming to these issues after the fact. So the system that's down there is a consumer grade system, and it's just severely limited and also just insufficient quality to do what we need to do to prosecute tickets. So we're evaluating what options we have to upgrade that system and get something that we can actually use for policing efforts.
Because my thought on this, even though it may not be sufficient to prosecute, if we've got video of it happening, just,
yeah, scared of me.
I'm ready for public shaming. Just post it, without comments, saying, here's what's happening, and
Something needs to be done.
Is your rooster gone? It should be gone.
I haven't heard it. So, but I haven't been home, so, but I'm pretty sure I've been home doing growing.
Pretty sure it's gone.
So who had it? Right next door to me, do you know, you
I'm
don't know
sure-
which one?
I'm sure it's
Darren, who
gone.
had it? 506? No, I'm 506. 508?
It was to the north.
Yeah.
It was north,
Which one's north?
That way.
that way. Up the road from you, towards,
Yeah.
towards
Okay.
Justin.
Yeah, was it right next, it's probably right next door.
It wasn't right next
It
door.
was, so it was the other one.
They have chickens as well.
Yeah, no, two, that's what I'm saying, I had
One
two
next
neighbors
to
that
the
had
chicken.
chickens, and they don't even give me eggs.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I
If
mean,
they gave me eggs, I wouldn't have bitched.
she was very friendly.
Yeah, she is nice. She is nice.
She's very friendly.
Rooster is gone.
It is gone.
Thank you, sir.
They're probably sad, but yes, thank you.
Important things.
Yes. City Attorney report.
Two things. On the topic of tickets, and by the way, I have successfully prosecuted folks for illegal dumping and abuse of recycling in other cities. Happy to do that. As your city prosecutor, my first docket is tomorrow. Visited with the clerks and the judges the other day. I expect no problems. It'll be smooth sailing. Second thing I wanted to bring your all's attention to, MML has a regional meeting tomorrow. It's at Canterbury Hill Winery in Holt Summit, 11:30 to 2. The guest speaker is Richard Sheets, the executive director. As always, he'll give a legislative update at the end of the session. My colleagues and I will be there, so if you're interested, that's 11:30 over at the winery in Holt Summit. That's my report.
So question for you, and I should probably know this.
Yeah.
Is there anything in House Bill 199 that's gonna affect us? I know there was a chicken ordinance, actually.
And I'm sorry I don't have an answer to the top of our head. Our firm, we track all bills as part of our function of our lease summit office. If you wait just a minute, I'll check our spreadsheet. What was the number?
199.
Sure, happy to check for you.
Before I turn over that, I have another question. The lake pond structure over on north of Caspian. I know it's private property. Can we instruct the owner to put signs up for trespassing?
We will let them know that.
I would hesitate to say instruct.
We will let him know that trespassing has occurred and he can
Sure.
do with that as he.
Okay, because I don't want anybody getting hurt.
Sure, sure.
I can see a kid go over and messing around and getting hurt. So, moving on to the police chief's report.
So, you should have our monthly stats in your packet, nothing stands out as extraordinary in there. You can see some of the stuff we're getting from the Haas alerts, which is from that Wheeling Cloud platform that you guys approved for us for this coming year. And just one little success story out of that was had a claim that one of our police cars had caused an accident out on Highway 63. We were able to definitively show we didn't have a police car anywhere in the area based on that Wheeling, the GPS tracking on the Wheeling Cloud platform. It goes above and beyond what the joint communication system does, and it's really nice. And so that saved us a bunch of hassle right there. And we also had a flock camera success story with a theft. Stole a concrete saw out of a pickup truck at a gas station. Was ultimately picked up quickly by law enforcement and was able to track him down to Jeff City. Ultimately, you may have heard the news in Callaway County. A truck rolled over there with a couple people fleeing from the Callaway County. That was this truck that stolen stuff from the New Salem Baptist Church and from here in Ashland. Got him caught same day, and that was a flock camera success, absolutely. So I'm going to just throw out a little thing here. I don't know what we're going to have to do to get people who are witnessing crimes and suspicious activity to call 311 or 911. We just can't. We had people watching the kids break the park bathroom sink, and they won't call us. And so I don't know what we can do. You know, when in doubt, call 911. Nobody gets prosecuted for calling 911 wrongly. You get prosecuted for calling 911 30 times in an hour. That's when you get in trouble for calling 911. Yeah. But if you call 911 and somebody decrees it's not an emergency, you don't get in trouble. But we're just begging you, because we just can't get, we find out about crimes on Facebook, and hours later, and third hand and fourth hand, because for whatever reason, people won't call and report stuff. After making much ado about it, we're back to having one opening. Life changes, and one of our police officers resigned in good standing, no problems, but had to leave, so we have an opening. If you know of any fine young people that are interested in being police officers, we're interested.
You don't have an opening. You took a position to make a sergeant's position.
Okay, but we're at 7 full-time instead of 8 full-time.
No, you had 7 before.
Okay.
You were fully staffed.
And one left.
And one left, and that's your sergeant's position.
So in other words, what she's saying is you took a regular position and you transferred it to a sergeant.
That They will discuss.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
The new car you approved us to buy got hit on the parking lot of the dealer before we could pick it up. And, so now we have to wait for one to be manufactured, so that'll be potentially 80 days out. As she mentioned, we have a new sergeant that we promoted effective, the 26th, next Monday. And on the recycling thing, again, you gotta remember the burden of proof is on us on that. So we can find your entire year's worth of Amazon boxes in there, and you don't even have to deny it. I have to, I have to prove that you put them there. And so that's what we've got, 2 different outfits we're looking at for cameras and to hopefully get us to where we can prosecute on that.
Good.
So, yeah, absolutely.
I hope so.
Any questions?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
To answer your question, on Friday, Lee Summit Management asked for a summary of HB 199. It turns out it covers a whole bunch of stuff. Design build is covered, there are law enforcement provisions, there are nuisance property provisions, I imagine your chickens are in there, and changes to coroners. So we are working on a summary on that particular bill, be happy to give it to you in a training.
I appreciate it.
Sure.
Thanks. Public Works, monthly report.
All right, I'll make this brief for both the Public Works report and community development. They were in your packet. I just want to add a couple things. I want to thank the Public Works staff, all the yellow shirts, for everything they've done over the past few months when we've been short-staffed. We're slowly building it up. We got some summer help hired. That's going to start next week as well. So, along with, as you've heard, the new Public Works director, but I just want to thank them all for everything they did, helping out with streets. Kurt Heckman was pretty much on his own, other than me, which really didn't count as a full person. So, other than that, had an inaugural school district facilities quarterly meeting that will be ongoing while the BOAG project is happening. We had a lot of collaboration there today, I think, and some good communication.
Now, is it gonna be on the same day every quarter, or is it different days?
I think the intention is to make it a Tuesday every quarter.
I think the next meeting is July 22nd,
I believe that is
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock in the morning, on a Tuesday? How long did it last?
Well, this was the inaugural, so it was a little over an hour. A lot of communication.
Moving on to community development.
It was in your packet. That's pretty much all I'm saying.
Thank you, sir. Treasury report.
my report's in your packet. Everybody has talked about new people being hired. Yes, we do have a new public works director starting on the 27th. We have 2 summer helps starting on the 27th, 1 young man starting on June 9th, and then we also hired a utility 2 worker for streets who will start on June 9th. So we do still have a couple of openings, but we're getting back up to speed on where we need to be. That's good.
Sounds good.
Hired 1 full-timer in addition to the supervisor.
Yes, yeah, and then the summer help, which I think this is gonna be a wonderful year for them. This is a good program, and Jeff Eller's really taken a great interest in making sure that the young people have a good experience and maybe come to work for us after they graduate.
That's awesome.
It's really good.
All right, moving on. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Moving on to Board Alderman report. Alderman Lewis.
Only thing I have, I also attended the facilities meeting at school. I think it's going to be very helpful. They did ask if they could come give some reports to us occasionally, so, you know, whether that be quarterly or a couple of times a year, you know, just to make sure that we're all working together and we don't have any conflicts in the future. And make this one big team rather than conflict. So I think very productive. We'd strongly encourage Kyle to be involved in that too.
Yeah.
July 22nd again is that next meeting. If you're,
They asked for me or Darren, so I gave him Darren, but
Gotcha.
I'll go to the next one.
yeah, no, yeah.
Be real clear on that point.
Alderman Bill.
No report.
Alderman Turner.
I just want to bring out that there's been a tragedy in the community with the man that works on the line, Cody Kyle is his name. Just thinking about his family, thinking about his kids, and there's a GoFundMe page on Facebook that's going around. It's just a tragic situation, and it's heartwarming to see how much money they've raised already. Just, Ashland's getting bigger, it seems like every day, but we're still at its core, still a small town community that cares about one another. So thinking about them, thinking about their families.
Thanks. Alderman Ravencroft.
Not really any report, other than I did have someone question me, and I'm sure this isn't in my ward, but asked me about the Mary Jane place, said that they removed all the new gravel, and now cars are parking on the old gravel. Is that, they want to know if that's
They
legal?
removed the new gravel.
That's what they said they scooped it down in the dirt. Last week.
Still a mess.
That's why I said, I don't know, but I got a city council meeting tomorrow night, I'll ask.
That seems improbable.
But I just had to laugh when they asked me that.
There was no clear method to the parking yesterday when I drove by. So we're still
I haven't even.
working on it.
So I need to stop in there sometime, just go in there and be customer.
Buying monthly supplies.
What'd you say?
Nothing. General comments from the public?
So you didn't.
One quick comment, Alderman Ravenscroft, maybe then you wouldn't be so worried about the chickens if you stopped.
But hey, the chickens, they took care of the chickens. That did bother, the chickens bother, the rooster bothered me, the chickens don't.
Going in the book.
But
It's
you,
about her out in the street growing.
If you had a rooster in your backyard and that rooster woke up Hilda, wouldn't you be upset?
Well, she doesn't really sleep, so.
Well, my dog does.
Alright, see no comments from the public. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Hi. Skippy.
You make the meetings so fun.
I'm so glad I could do that.
So I'm not actually allowed to write a book about these things, but I say in these moments, these little Mayberry-esque moments, I'll say to myself, that's going to the book.
Well, you know what? I've always said, whenever I closed my restaurant, I was gonna write a book. It's said to be a good seller because everybody wanted to know what I said about them.
Sure, of course.
When Tim pitched the meeting, I was
So now that we're-
informed that it was a.
So now that we're off the record,
majority
I
of
can
the
tell
school
you
board and 5 other
that
people.
she,
He said it was gonna be a working group.
she
meeting.
had the rooster
Yeah.
for almost, I think, over a year.
Yeah, she's had it a while.
But she had a